So we got a full moon. Okay, we have a lunar eclipse. It's happening in Virgo. To get the best insight, I recommend two main things before I get any deeper into the understanding of this particular lunar eclipse in Virgo happening at 23 degrees, March 14th, March 13th, depending on where you are in the world. One, check out the Let's Get Married video. I did this about 6 months ago. This was the new moon in Virgo back in September, opening up this full moon conclusion. And you'll understand more about what Let's Get Married means. And I will explain a little bit today, but I won't go deep into that. So that video, I'm going to drop a link, hopefully somewhere. I recommend you check that out. And you have your forecast, all 12 signs, all horoscopes from that video. And that'll give you the all signs, the horoscope understanding of what is the completion this March 2025, this full moon, this lunar eclipse 2025. Second recommendation, okay, there's a new opening, a new portal opening, and I recommend you check out the last 2 weeks of February 28th, 2025. There is a new moon in Pisces, and that new moon in Pisces will help you understand what's the new opening that's important for the closing. And you'll see that video there as well. I'll look to put those graphics up. And there was really some tough emotional discernment that was required, spiritual development and transformation, as we dive deep with the energy of the sea serpent into the depths of our psychology and our subconscious to better understand our blessings, which is opening up this timeline, okay, on this lunar eclipse in Virgo. So check those out. Hit the thumbs up and the likes button. This original sound that I just produced, do check out our potential, if you're interested in, our one-on-one shamanic mentorship. And those sounds that I used were specific for purification and for innocence, among other themes. And so if you're looking to dive into the shamanic one-on-one mentorship with me, you'll understand how to use particular sounds to create certain frequencies with intention, okay, including your intuition. So check out that one-on-one. Now, let's get into this. Hit the thumbs up and likes button. If you're brand new and you're already interested, hit the subscription button. If you made it this far and you want me to continue to add more creativity, whether it's through sound and flute and music and all right, calm down. It ain't time to party yet. But very soon on this full moon, and I'm going to help you understand why it's a true celebration. So hit the thumbs up and the likes button, and let's get into some of the messages today. 333 on screen. If you made it to that and you saw that, drop 333 on screen and say, I'm a master creator. All right, so let's give a quick understanding of the lunar eclipse, all right, happening at 23 degrees of Virgo, otherwise known as the part of the sky, the constellation called Uttara Falguni. This is primarily about friendship and marriage. What are you marrying? How are you allowing your divine masculine to take trustworthy actions in order for the divine feminine deep within you, which is the beginning of creations, anything you manifest from the incorporeal to the corporeal, how can you trust, okay, through action, through committed devotion and conviction on, I say I do this, I follow through and I do this. And you do not doubt anything that I say, which allows you to trust everything that is created, everything that is getting nurtured, like a mother nurturing a child, understanding your projects, your friendships, and what you are marrying, whether that is a person, whether that is a habit. Are you marrying a habit? Are you marrying a person? Are you marrying a behavior? Okay. Are you marrying a project at work? Are you marrying your commitment to save a college funds for your children? What are you marrying? And a lot of this full moon is bringing illumination and light to what you have married over the last 6 months. And so here's some of the keys from 6 months ago, bringing us back to the new moon in Virgo. All right, so the new moon in Virgo back 6 months ago was saying, can you be alert? Are you alert? Are you conscious on what you are creating? Are you conscious of what depresses your energy? So what depresses your energy and makes you feel small and brings you and takes away your life, brings you into the darkness without any glimpse of hope to step out of that. These are the things you got to be conscious of. And as you bring sunlight, alertness to that, okay, you can then understand, well, this doesn't bring me life and energy and nor vitality. What does make me feel alive? And use your literal hands to take a manifestation of yours starting 6 months ago, especially things around the concepts of friendship or marriage or things that you are marrying, your habits that you are marrying, behaviors that you are marrying, okay, a project that you are marrying, patronage, where you are looking to marry the concept and conviction that it takes to start a college fund for your children and say, look, I am marrying and staying convicted and committed to building this college fund for my children to blah, blah, blah. Because this lunar eclipse in Uttara Falguni is about union. It's about connection and it's about patronage. And so it's like, can you donate? What is patronage? Let's put that up on screen. It's like, can you donate? Are you willing to accept donations from high bidders, people who support your social cause? Because this is a moon. The moon is represented by our social connections, as well as our mental stability or instability, as well as our ability to feel worthy and deserving of the support that comes from our grand connections, from where we feel we belong, right? The moon is a place of belonging. And it's like, are you in the right friend groups? So if you checked earlier, you would have seen me burning a letter. And here's the irony. The letter equated to 9, right? There's like 5 numbers on there and equated to a 9. So that's a 9 from a letter from a friend. The last word that burned that I saw on there said amigo, literally. And I made a commitment. I made a promise that I'm going to build strong, lasting, foundational friendships. And so this lunar eclipse is a closing, right? And so it's like, this got burned because that bridge, that relationship is, it's not, I won't say it's not necessary because it was necessary, but it is no longer in existence. And it's like, are you willing to be committed to fuel what it takes to fuel a relationship, a social connection, okay? A marriage, a connection, a commitment, anything of this union energy, right? And it's like, if you don't fuel them, if you don't support them, they will die. If they're not here for you and what you are creating, okay, as a part of your future, it will die. But it also is simultaneously making space if you stay devout, committed, and honest about what you want out of a connection, out of a relationship. It will open the doors for that as well. So this Uttara, okay, Falguni is a portal. The moon is a portal itself, along with other things. It's a portal for light, connections that require ambition, a little bit of intensity, as well as a deep sense of deserving, okay? Because it is ruled by the sun and it is supported by Jupiter. And so it's like, these are sun and Jupiter are energies that are lasting, okay? They're very big, even egoic and egocentric energies that says, I deserve X, Y, and Z. And that matches or it does not. And you will see in this lunar eclipse in Virgo, okay, Virgo is energy that has to work towards things, right? It has to consistently, I always say, like, marriages, connections, commitments, they are made or broken at Virgo, right? Because Virgo is what you need to do day to day to maintain a connection, to maintain a sense of social wellness with your friendships, marriage, habits that you're married to, behaviors, like we said before. And so you must understand that this was coming from a new moon of trusting the masculine. And in order for the feminine within us, deep within us, to trust the masculine, we have to say something. And then we have to complete and fulfill that promise. We have to understand that our word as a male, even if you're a female watching this, is bond. So even if I'm going to use females, for example, on purpose right now. If you're a female and you say something and you don't do it, okay, you won't trust another male because you yourself have lied. And so you begin to expect that from a male, that if he doesn't say something and he doesn't do it, you can't trust him. But that is just the internal reflecting the external. Now, simultaneously, if you are a female, you understand it doesn't matter if my feelings and emotions change about a certain thing. If it does, that is okay. But I need to be emotionally honest, go back with whoever I was in connection with, male, female, doesn't matter, and say, look, I know I said this, but I changed my mind. And also understand and respect with yourself that that is okay. Right? No one's telling you you can't change your mind. But what we are saying with this full moon lunar eclipse is that's Virgo. That's the day to day. It's a mutable energy. Things change. So you need to match that shift with effort to the commitment. Whatever it is, if it changed, it's normal. It actually should change. It should grow. It should improve. That's what Virgo is here to do. And as it does improve, you also have to cover your bases and make sure that your promise matches. And that's what a lot of this full moon and this lunar eclipse in Virgo is making sure. Are we matching what we say we're going to do by the actions doing that? That allows me to trust my masculine. So that's what the new moon was really helping us work towards, as well as understanding how to release dependency on a connection, whether psychological support was being offered from a friend or a wife or a husband or somebody that you feel committed to, convicted to maintain and nurture and nourish a relationship or connection. You're making sure we're releasing any over dependence or hyper dependence on that connection and relationship. Anything of that sense will die. Okay, if the connection was out of balance or hyper independence or hypo, not respecting a relationship or connection enough, not feeding it enough, both will die. But it's opening a new portal to say, hey, look, we can get this in balance. We can get this in check. So anything dependent won't survive, especially because the moon in Virgo is connected to the south node. And so it's like, again, like I said, anything that is helping you to psychologically as well as mentally, intellectually digest a difficult situation or even just a situation, if it is out of alignment, it won't work. And you're going to find that. But you'll find as well that you are now adopting and loving to learn to love a interdependent relationship where you can work with and depend on another person in harmony and happiness and at peace, understanding that I'm not overexerting in this relationship and I'm not overfeeding it, as well as not relying on it enough in the right times at the right moments. And so what you'll also realize earlier in the new moon, it was a lot about controlling your sexual energy, understanding that if you didn't exert your sexual energy in the right ways, on the right projects, for the right things at the right times, you will ultimately be controlled by that thing and it will ultimately push you down and depress you. And so think about it, okay? March 14th, 2025, how do you feel leading up to this eclipse? Do you feel depressed? Do you feel sad? Do you feel dark? Do you feel lonely? Well, it shows what happened over the last 6 months. And also on the flip side, do you feel happy? Do you feel radiant? Do you feel vibrant? Do you feel ready to live your life and excited about it? Well, that shows you what you've done and how you've committed your sexual energy over the last 6 months and if you put it towards the right thing. Now, second, hit the thumbs up and the likes button as I get into the final understanding before we go into the all signs, all horoscopes for all 12 zodiac signs. And again, make sure you check the new moon video of Let's Get Married so you understand what you were getting married to. All right, from 6 months ago. So I'm trying to put that video and that link up. But let's get into a deeper understanding of the lunar eclipse itself on the next stage. Now, here's what's interesting. This was a gift to me. It's a peacock feather. And I actually just used this for a prop within my house. I don't wear it often, but I wore it today because the animal of Uttara Falguni is represented by a peacock. And the peacock is a symbol and an understanding of the ability to assimilate anything, any experience, any shift, any change, which is what the moon goes through, right? So the lunar eclipse is the moon, the lunar eclipse in Virgo. And we go through changes in our relationships, in our connections, okay, in our support, in our sense of belonging. Do we belong here or do we no longer belong here, right? There's a closing of I don't belong here anymore, but I do belong here. Because I understand that this was depressing, I understand that I'm bringing alertness that this is revitalizing. And so understand that the peacock is the animal that asks you to meditate on your navel. So take 4 of your fingers like this and put your pinky finger at the top of your belly button, okay? So here, at this index finger is exactly where your solar plexus sits, and this is our emotional center as well as the center of how we work on something with passion, with love, with conviction, all right, with full of ambition, full of life, full of like, yes, I love what I'm doing. This makes me feel worthy. I feel that this is worthy to wake up for in the morning and charge towards with joy and excitement and love, and or not. Okay, the meditation of I hate doing what I do. I hate making money the way I make money. I hate, gaining wealth the way I'm gaining it. Like, I'm ready for this to end. Well, a lunar eclipse can help you support that with that, right? Because this is a lunar eclipse in Virgo. So understand that the peacock will actually meditate on your navel, and it also says that if you are having trouble, difficulty digesting your situation, all right, this is a Uttara Falguni, this full moon, this lunar eclipse in Virgo is represented by the dosha Vata, and Vata is the elements of air and ether. So I have a video out there that says what is Vata about, okay, as these two elements combined. And long story short, one of the things that it goes through is things like constipation. It goes through spasms, muscle spasms, nerve spasms. It goes through stiffness and arthritis. So understand, if you're feeling a little ache or pain somewhere in your body, you're feeling in your knee, you're feeling in your elbow, you're feeling in your neck, and it feels like it's just dry, and that dryness is creating a spasm, is creating an electrical surge somewhere in your body. This is saying that on this eclipse, that Vata is out of balance, and it's actually to ground that energy. Okay, ground your social relations and connections, ground your intelligence and stillness, among other things. That energy of Vata, requires you to be kinder, to be sweeter, and less of a cutting energy, right? You ever been like in Chicago, the Windy City, or New York, and you are in the wintertime and you walk by 2 buildings, and in between the 2 buildings, it could just like cut your face? Only people who know about the cold, or you lived in a cold, might understand what I just said. But that's Vata energy. When it's out of balance, it's brutal, it's painful, it hurts, right? It's somebody with a sharp tongue that can say something if they're hot and they're angry, that's very hurtful. All right. But on the positive side, Vata is very enthusiastic, it's very spiritual, it's very happy to be alive. And so you have to ask yourself, which one do you feel like? Uh, and that will help you better understand. Now, the last connection that I have here is the moon was connected to the south node, and this is the star of patronage. So this is a star of wealth. There's like 8 wealthy nakshatras and constellation in astrology, and this is one of them. But it's wealth that you are gaining from people from your past life, or past life aggressions that you may go through, Akashic records that you may connect to, because you're talking moon and you're talking south node. These are very 2 highly spiritual planets, things that you need to like have a grand imagination in order to reach and connect with this level of success from alternate versions, timelines, life, or angelic and karmic support from ancestors, family members, people who you may not be like physically related to, but spiritually related to. This is connected and is happening in a very harmonious energy of the conjunction. These 2 things are familiar with each other, and they have the ability, all right, to bring you power and to bring you wisdom through the experiences of what did I have difficulty digesting before, and now how can I bring awareness, full moon, okay, bring full light on. Now I'm really good at digesting this. Now this used to be hard for me, and I could tell you for me myself, like it used to be hard for me to digest when a friendship or connection didn't work out. It used to be very difficult, and I look at it now and I'm like, all right, like this is not that hard. Like in comparison to what it used to be, like this is a breeze, because I know what I want, I know what I deserve, and I want friendships, connections that last. And if they don't last, I want them out of my life, and I want what I deserve. And so it's like, can you digest these situations? It's again the energy of the peacock, the energy of this Uttara Falguni, or full moon in Virgo. So this is something that's very important. Now that's the conjunction of the moon to the south node, and the next one is the moon trining Uranus. And so Uranus is happening in a nashatra called Kritika, and again, these are 2 solar energies fueled by Agni. Agni is our belly. It's our, where I said, meditate on your navel. And your belly will store worry and anxiety on the negative sides. It will be unable to digest the past, the things that have happened to you, the experience you've undergone. And if or not, it will, on the same belly, you can invite the energies of the color green. That's a lie. Yellow. Invite the color yellow, the color of the stomach. Add that with a little bit of qigong, all right, and say something like, woo, and that woo sound will help you to bring acceptance, bring trust, okay? Reinvite trust and acceptance into your gut, into your experience with emotions, so you can trust that your emotions are honest, they are truthful. Even if they are lying, you can trust what it has been in the moment, trying to redirect and shift you to the moment, right? So it's like bring yourself into the presence and bring yourself into the acceptance and what it means to accept in the moment, not to accept future, past, but now. Accept how I feel right now. And if I can accept that, then that emotion, that energy, that person, that commitment, that marriage, that friendship, that can pass so that I can accept that I have better on the way. And this is something that is happening with this full moon, this lunar eclipse, and Virgo, that I think is really, really important with that trining energy, okay? Accept only what you deserve and nothing less. That's what this moon trining Uranus is saying. Like, you might have emotional volatility, but it's giving you a very clear message of where you do belong. So you have to close out where you don't belong, okay? And the last thing I'll say is the day after the hit the thumbs up and the likes button. All right, hit the thumbs up and the like button, my last message. Aries, where do you belong? That is the mission, that's the message, that's the closing, that is the full completion of this lunar eclipse in Virgo. It is a message of where do you belong, and are you willing to let go and lose the connections that you have did your best to improve, that you tried to work on, that you tried to support, but they just didn't equate to something that actually you deserve. They didn't equate to something that you worked hard for. And this isn't something you worked for over the last 6 months. This is actually something you've been working for from a very karmic standpoint. As an Aries, you chose the path to walk alone because you realized loyalty, friendship, connection, commitment, and getting married to the idea of friendship means so much for you as an Aries. So if it's not improving your life, then it's destroying your life. And it's going to be that simple on this lunar eclipse in Virgo. Hit the thumbs up and the likes button, Aries, if you agree, and let us know you're rocking with us. See you soon. Taurus, this eclipse in Virgo, this lunar eclipse is actually helping us to support something that you really care about, something that is so close, so dear to your heart, something that you feel, I want to create this. And you'll notice that you're going to get a lot of support from this full moon in Virgo when it comes to documentations as well as your ultimate hopes and dreams. You're placing yourself in a position and you're shining light on, this is where I belong. This is what's worth my time, my effort to plan long term, to make something happen, Taurus. If you agree and you resonate with that, and you're willing to work on that thing day to day, which we know you are, because that's what you do, right? Like, you work long term on things. You will find that you will have all the paperwork, all the documents, and all the social resources in your immediate environment very close to you. All you gotta do is get out there and work for it, and you will get your manifestations and your promises. Hit the thumbs up and the likes button, Taurus, if you agree and you resonate with that message. Gemini, this full moon in Virgo is actually showing you how your family, somebody who might have even been controlling in your upbringing growing up, brought you a tremendous amount of gifts through that. They taught you how to control your mind, how to control your manifestations, how to control what you create with your bare hands. All right, Gemini, this full moon, this lunar eclipse in Virgo is helping you understand, wow, you've become such a boss energy, even with your childlike expression of speaking and acting and moving and creating and manifesting from the throat chakra, things that are aligned with truth. You have control over these manifestations, and it's time to really go back and be grateful and thank your parents during this timeline and say, you know what, thank you for making me who I am, because I'm an ultimate manifester. If you're an ultimate manifester, drop that in the chat. Say, I am an ultimate manifester. Hit the thumbs up and likes button and subscribe if you're brand new, Gemini. I love you. Cancer, you are becoming your own best friend. During this lunar eclipse in Virgo, that's what it wants you to work on. That's what it wants you to recognize. That's what it wants you to continue to manifest. Being your own best friend and manifest that connection that you have with yourself, faith in the God, the divinity that exists within your own physical body. Okay. bring in a concept, an idea of what it means to marry God within yourself, becoming your best friend, and actually verbalizing and oralizing, speaking out into existence positivity, speaking out into existence your faith. This doesn't have to be around anyone else. And in fact, I believe the conscious effort is to let this be a very private practice for yourself. And you will ultimately find yourself surrounded in your immediate environment by a bunch of people who respect the divinity within you. Say I am divine in the chat, Cancer. If you watched and you caught this and you enjoy it, hit the thumbs up or likes button. Subscribe if you're brand new, Cancer. Leo, it's very likely you're about to get paid. I'm not kidding. This Virgo eclipse, this lunar eclipse in Virgo is having you work on what you say, how you speak about yourself, work on your self-esteem, work on your sense of deserving, and actually let go of part of your attachment to how you used to value yourself. If you allow that, you will understand you've been energetically putting and pouring, so much life into yourself by taking away, dirty thoughts, literally like a psychology that has been negative in whatever facet. And ultimately, it's allowing you to accept and embrace a lot of wealth. Like people are actually knocking on your front door saying, here, take this bag full of cash, take this bag full of love. And all you have to do right now, Leo, is open your heart to it. Hit the thumbs up and likes button, say, my heart is open in the chat, and subscribe if you're brand new, Leo. Virgo, you are the star of the show on this lunar eclipse in Virgo, and there is a long-term dream that you've had, a vision of yourself from the future that has presented itself today. And it's going to require one thing, because this is a full moon, because it's a lunar eclipse, one you can't control. It is asking you to actually close out a relationship. It's asking you to close out a dynamic, to put to bed, to put to rest the traditional way in which you would deal with how you relate to others so that you can better relate to your long-term dream of yourself, who you know you are destined to be, who you know you are destined to help. But by no longer helping in independent ways, toxic ways, others that are not supporting and pouring into you. And then when that happens, you will have your angelic team, you will have your cosmic support pour tremendous, wild levels of abundance into you. They will fund you, the identity of your future self today. Say, I am free, Virgo, in the chat. If you are down and resonate, hit the thumbs up and subscribe. Libra, I know you're feeling this. Right now, it ain't time for relationships. Right now, it ain't time for the love story about what people say about you. No, 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 no. Right now, it's time to actually accept and release an old form of how you attach to reputation. I don't want to say attached, but how you strive, how you work towards becoming more reputable, becoming more well-known. You're letting that go, and you're actually allowing life to bless you with a title that means something to you. And you're allowing yourself to work on the psychological processes within yourself, within your being, and not accepting who you're told you're meant to be, not following traditions in a way that says this is what is worth working towards. No, no, no. You're working towards a mission, a sense of divinity that's being given to you, that's being whispered in your ear by God. And if you believe that, just say, I accept. I accept my blessings in the chat as you hit the thumbs up and the likes button on this lunar eclipse in Virgo. Scorpio, you may be asked to surrender a lover. This is probably a lover, if it's a lover that you weren't truly committed to. Anything, any project you're not committed to, anything you're nourishing that you're not truly committed to, you're being asked to surrender this on the lunar eclipse in Virgo. And instead, you're being asked to work on a future project, to work on a version of your dreams where you are not only the star, but you are God living out God's story. So be willing to witness that and be blessed by the God within you. If you're willing and able to do that, you're no longer going to require, secretly attention from people in high places, because you're going to understand, I am the person in the high place. I am the person who is at the top of the society of my desired goal, my desired ambition. And when you embrace that, life is going to say, take this blessing. So say, I take this blessing in the chat, Scorpio, and hit the thumbs up and likes button. Subscribe if you are brand new on this lunar eclipse in Virgo, Scorpio. Sagittarius, people think that you're not a family person, but the reality is you really do care about family. But the fact and the ways in which you care about them, you're working on that process. You're releasing your dependence on supporting them in ways that they may feel. And as you release and let go of that fatherly voice saying, this is what you must do. This is, no. Let go of that and govern your own being and accept the reputation and the status that actually makes sense to you. As you do that, you will notice a very chunky bag that's just at your front door knocking, saying, hey, let me help you. Let me fund your career. Let me fund your future ambitions and efforts. And if you allow that, this lunar eclipse in Virgo says, look, Virgo, Sagittarius, we have difficulty relating with each other sometimes because we go about them differently. But at the end of the day, I am trying my best to support you in the ways that you want to be supported. And if you agree with that, say, I accept. And hit the thumbs up and likes button in the chat below saying, yeah, subscribe. Capricorn, you're becoming friends with God. You're becoming a tool of divination. You're learning how very clearly on this lunar eclipse in Virgo, how to work on divining, how to work on your divination, how to work on your ability to listen to source, to listen to spirit, to listen to God deep within your heart, deep within your soul, deep within your belief. And in order to do that, it's saying, yo, look, somewhat like Cancer, speak up, okay? Speak up and speak up positively. Speak about your negative experiences in a way that you are more readily able and willing to digest them and shift and meditate on your solar ambitions, on your desire for X, Y, and Z. So it's like once you realize the desire, there's a tremendous blessing on the other side, Capricorn, on this lunar eclipse in Virgo that says hit the thumbs up and the likes button and subscribe if you're brand new. Listen to the guy within. Aquarius, you're marrying the work, you're marrying the passion, you're marrying the obsession, you're marrying the day-to-day efforts that it takes. On this lunar eclipse in Virgo, it is saying, look, we're coming to a full completion and closure of, I want to bless you. I want to bless you in the biggest possible way. I want to bless you with an investment that is larger than you are willing to accept. What you will need to trade on this lunar eclipse is the habits from birth, the habits from your foundational family's mindset, from their traditions, from the way they would socially adjust to their stubborn ways. You can't keep doing that in order to accept what it takes to passionately pursue, as well as accept the opening in your own heart to receive the day-to-day working blessing, just like pouring. It's like, no, please accept me, Aquarius. And if you accept, just say in the chat, I accept. I open my heart. Say, I open my heart as you hit the thumbs up and like button, confirming it and subscribe. Pisces, this one's simple on this lunar eclipse in Virgo, okay? You have a partner, you have a lover, you have somebody in your workplace, somebody that has been supporting you, somebody that has been pouring life into you, somebody that you feel good around, okay? This is not the people, ain't nobody that you feel depressed from. No, you feel full of life. They make you feel full of life. And this is your major blessing, Pisces. They're saying, yo, not open up. I'm just trying to pour pure love and bliss into you. And what you'll need to let go of is an old identity of yourself, of where you may have negatively saw yourself. You may have negatively talked about yourself. You may have had a body image that said, look, boom, 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 it don't match. And if you're willing to let go of that old version that doesn't match, that's what the opposition of this lunar eclipse in Virgo said. Then you'll be able to accept how this person in your life that really cares for you is helping to push you forward in your career, in your traditions, and in your social understanding of the blessings you carry within your being. Hit the thumbs up and likes button and say, I accept, down in the chat below, and subscribe.